So question number 8. How do I support my child gain more independence? Okay, big one. And I am that parent who has wanted to support my children to get more independence, who hasn't wanted to be there all of the time, but sometimes feel like I should be, and sometimes want to. And I do find it hard letting go. Um, so let's have a look. Encouraging self-advocacy. So if your young person and if the young person that you're working with are able to advocate for themselves, find ways that they can do that and practice with them in a way that makes sense for them and in a way that they can do. And that may even for them be, actually, I'd like you to talk to my appointee. Actually, I'd like you to talk to my parent and I'd like to involve them. But they must, you must, with professionals and working with professionals, they are quite often going to want to hear from the voice of a young person themselves and not always from me as a parent, for instance. Step in only when needed. But your judgment call about when you're needed is your judgment call. But we can start to develop their independence and their skills in their EHCP meetings. We can start looking at these as developing their advocacy skills about themselves if they are able to. Not everyone will be able to, all right? But think about when you need to be there and when you can let them try, all right? Help them make informed choices. So we might steer people in directions, but can you let them lead? Can you let them tell you what their choice might be or what options they'd like to look at, what things they'd like to try? And sometimes we might have to stretch them a little bit and give them a little nudge and ask them to do things that they might not like, or they might think that they might not like. And I mentioned earlier about trying things to find out whether you do or don't like it. And this is really helpful when working with professionals or working with agencies who might be saying, your child needs to do this. This is what we're going to do for your child. And you might say, or they might say, I don't like that. But if you haven't got if you've got evidence to say, actually, they did try this and they really didn't like it, that is such a powerful thing to have to help your young person then lead and make informed choices because they're informed because they've tried. You might want to try things like sliding out. Again, another hour's session. Sliding out is a technique where we might be involved heavily to start off with, and we might scaffold is another word. We might do a lot of support around somebody, and then little by little, we step away and we let them do a little bit by themselves. And then they get comfortable doing that bit by themselves. And then they don't need us at all, and we slide out. We've done this with travel training. We've done this with education. We've done it with work. And quite often you might find like the first few weeks in a workplace, they need you a lot. You're there a lot. That's fine. It's a bit like, you know, when you start school in primary school and you have those kind of 4 or 5 weeks. Well, we did. I don't know if they've stopped it now. And those 4 or 5 weeks where it's like half a day, half afternoons, half mornings, a whole day. Oh my goodness, it drives us crazy as parents. But that's kind of that scaffolding and sliding in because that transition period can mean you need extra support during that period. But at some point, you can slide out. Yeah. And other people come in and support rather than you as that parent. And my sentence there, or my suggestion, support them, but let them grow.